Hi guys, this is Steve Cavey.
And Christine Ho.
We're selectmen for the town of Stoughton. Today is November 20th, 2018. Christine's going to help me out because there's something she was covering specifically that I wanted her to take a chance to speak on. It was the Town Redevelopment Task Force progress update. So I'll pass it over to her.
Yep. So even though this was a little later on our agenda tonight, Steve was nice enough to let me go first so I can get out of here. So the Downtown Redevelopment Task Force was put together in the spring, and we've been doing a number of projects. My main update tonight was on the town meeting articles that we're hoping to propose for the next annual town meeting in May. But we've also been working on parking, a restaurant attraction project, working on putting together a bank consortium. So I recommend you check out our agendas and minutes and talk to some members of the task force if you want updates on those items. And we meet every first and third Thursday of the month in the engineering room at 7 p.m. Those are public meetings, so you're welcome to come by to get updates on those. For the town meeting articles that we're looking at proposing, they involve a number of things, both for sort of one-off articles for operating costs or increases in budget items that we already have in the operating budget. So the first one we're looking at is to allow some funding for a consultant who could work on potential projects that would relate to the downtown, such as studies on highest and best use of a certain site, or zoning reform to look at the Stoughton Center mixed-use overlay district, the SMAC bylaws, or any other potential overlay districts that we could put into the downtown. So that consultant item right now we have at about $25,000. We might look at tweaking that amount depending on how much studying and designing and so on we might need to do in the downtown. The next item that we wanted to put in was for basically an economic development assistant. So through our community development block grant that we were awarded by the state recently for the sign and facade improvement program, it allows for 25 hours to be used for a person to work on the grant management. So we look at adding some extra hours to get that person to work on downtown task force and downtown initiatives. So it'd be about 10 hours a week for an additional $13,000. The next item we're looking at is to add a line or increase the stipend that is provided to the animal control officer to do parking enforcement downtown. Parking is becoming more and more of a conversation as we start activating some spaces like the Randolph Savings Bank. So we'd like to add some additional funding into that budget for some additional parking enforcement. Obviously, that revenue could recoup itself. The next item that we looked at was additional liquor licenses for the SMAC district specifically. So there is a set number, and as we start attracting more restaurants, we may want to increase that number of licenses we allow, so that you can actually put a restaurant in and get a liquor license. And that process takes a couple of years, maybe a couple of years, because you have to go through the state. So we want to get ahead of that while we have a chance. So presenting that in May is sort of the start of the timeline for that. And the last item would be for some funding for beautification and streetscape, maybe some downtown furniture, temporary furniture like patio chairs and things, so that we could start having some people spend time downtown and keep it looking nice. So that could either be a specific item or be sort of a grant to the Friends of Stoughton Center, as they're already doing a lot of that work and providing those items in the downtown. So that's what we're looking at for articles for the spring town meeting. I know we have a special town meeting coming up, so a number of these other things on the agenda tonight relate to that, but I do encourage you to come down to the Downtown Task Force meetings on the first and third Thursdays and reach out to us with any questions on the activity we're doing. So thanks for having me.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Have a good
Have
night.
a good night. Take care. Okay, guys. So I'll go through the rest of this pretty quickly. The rest of the agenda. Today we had a number of presentations done about some of the projects that have been going on in the town. A lot of people will know about these. Some of them they may know more than others. We had a presentation on the Cape and Reynolds house done by Richard Terry, who's the secretary of Friends of Cape and Reynolds. They are so he just went through the plans. I recommend you watch the video, as always. If you get a chance to watch these videos. They're kind of long, but especially these presentations were really excellent. They're looking to, besides repairs in the building, they're also looking to put in a dog park in that area. And the description of what they have planned sounds really nice, really excellent. We have a dog, so I'm looking forward to getting down there with our own pup. We also had a presentation done on the Glen Echo recreation site. That was done by the interim town manager, Mark Tisdale. He was presenting on behalf of the Glen Echo committee. He was well aware of this project. I think he's been working on it for a long time. And the Glen Echo committee, unfortunately, the member who was going to speak today had to reschedule and wasn't able to make it. So rather than just rescheduling, he just did the presentation on their behalf. And once again, it looks like they're making a lot of progress. And to hear that the full description, definitely watch the video. The next one was the library. As you know, this is there's been construction on that, and they are wrapping it up. It should be finished at the very end. It's taking perhaps a little bit longer to get the finishing touches than they would have liked, but they're looking at mid-December for an opening. So, but we've there have been tours of the building. And it looks spectacular. They're just doing some of the finishing touches at the end, and I think they've already begun to bring some of the books in. So we're really wrapping up the very last bits of it. And the last project we looked at was the high school. TJ Recupero, the chair of the high school building committee, presented, and so did Dominic. I might be mispronouncing his last name, but I think it's Tiberi. Who's the project manager on this. And that also, they were able to lay out the time frame that they're looking to complete the building. It's on budget. It's actually below, I think it's under budget right now. And it looks like they are also coming in ahead of schedule. So they've done a pretty remarkable job. So what else did we talk about? Definitely recommend you seeing those presentations. Those are some really important things. So, as Christine addressed the articles that they're looking to have, she addressed all of the stuff that they had discussed. There was a lot there, and I wasn't able to get all of it down, and I wanted to make sure I didn't make any mistakes. So I asked her to come and speak on about that. So I appreciate that, Christine. The town manager's contract. So, as you know, we've extended an offer to Dr. Robin Buxian, and so we've reached an agreement with her, and the Board of Selectmen has signed that contract. We passed it along, and Robin Buxian has not yet signed that. So we're waiting on that, and then once she has, we'll talk about a start date and swearing in. We also had on the agenda special town meeting. We put this on the agenda just in case there was anything we wanted to address, because it's going to be next Tuesday, and so if there's anything that was necessary to discuss, we needed to have it out there. But everyone felt pretty comfortable with where we are, so we didn't discuss it. We just had a couple questions and answers, and that was it. Hopefully that was it. I think I covered all of the major parts of the agenda. I'll link the agenda below. I'll link the video as soon as it becomes available, the full video as soon as it becomes available. As always, thank you for allowing me to serve the town, and have a wonderful Thanksgiving, everybody. Thanks so much. Let's see if I can find this off button, but thanks again. Take care.